Witherspoon, and we have a very special celebration coming up Saturday, August the 29th at 3 o'clock p.m. as WEHA Gospel 88.7 and 100.3 FM hosts El Presidente's 65th birthday celebration service. The celebration will take place at Faith Baptist Church, 829 Tilton Road in Pleasantville, New Jersey, and promises to be an incredible afternoon of praise, worship, and fellowship. You'll be blessed by outstanding lineup featuring local indie gospel artists, the Inspirational Choral Ensemble, Bishop Charles Lyles and the New John Howard Gospel Caravans, the Abundant Life Worship Center Praise Team, and there will be even a special surprise gospel recording artist joining the celebration. John Howard Jr. will serve as the Master of Ceremonies, making this event you don't want to miss. Bring your family, invite your friends, and come and celebrate this milestone with us. For additional information, you can call Monday through Friday, 609-641-8870. Again, that's Saturday, August the 29th at 3 o'clock p.m. at the Faith Baptist Church in Pleasantville. We also want you to keep in mind that the Westminster Christian Worship Center, 2015 Morningside Avenue in Atlantic City, we will be having our monthly food distribution, and that will be on July the 22nd, I believe. I better not be saying the wrong date, and it's my own event. On July 22nd, and it's free, doesn't cost anything. Bring your own carts, your own reusable bags. We're going to have fresh produce, we have meats, we have everything, we have diapers, and it's free. And I tell people, we're not the only person that's doing this, but we're one of the people. I am right, July 22nd. We're one of the organizations and one of the churches that are doing this for our community. There's a lot of food insecurity. There are a lot of people who've lost their SNAP benefits and things of that nature. You may not need it, but you may know someone who does. Have them to come on over to 2015 Morningside Avenue in Atlantic City, and we will have some diapers and some household products. Also, I want everybody to know that the rules are changing for the New Jersey Family Care. Rules for adults on Medicaid. You may need to go to work or go to school or volunteer and report your activities to keep your coverage. And this was a part of the big beautiful bill. And first it was just the SNAP benefits everybody was talking about, that you could lose your SNAP benefits, but now you can lose your Medicaid. So I have some information on my page, but you can also go to Medicaid.gov and look up this information for yourself. I just don't want people to be without any type of health insurance. It's a terrible thing to get there and find out that you're not covered. So there are some exemptions, and when you click on it, I don't have time because I have my guests here to go through the coverage, what you need, the eligibility changes, the exemptions. So go on there and look and to see if you qualify to be exempt, and make sure that you get exempt early so you don't have to worry about this when it comes up in January 2027. People didn't want me to talk about this, or cringe when I say it, but you got to say it so people will be aware of what's happening in our country. And it's just not affecting the country, but it also affects people that are seniors and disabled and kids and everybody that's on Medicaid. So I could almost understand the food stamps. I just didn't understand the Medicaid piece. All right, but y'all know that I'm very concerned about the community. I'm not the only one concerned about the community, but as an advocate for the community, I want to make sure that our listening audience is totally aware of everything that is happening that might benefit them. The Hamilton Township MUA, there was a hack, a recent cyber security hack on the water, but our water is good out there in Hamilton Township. And I just want everybody to know that you don't have to worry. Of course, I buy my water, but still, the water is good out there in Hamilton Township. There's also a letter on my page from the executive director, Daniel Loveland, and if you want to go on my page and read it, you can. The New Mount Calvary Baptist Church and the United Gospel Singers Ministry presents the Patricia E. Moore 24th Annual Soul Food Gospel Fest, featuring gospel duo Duncan and Rachel. This is one of my favorite events to go to. This year they have the sensational Doré Lyles, the South Jersey Quartet All-Stars, the incomparable Daryl Robinson Trio, and the United Gospel Singers. And this is going to be Saturday, September the 19th, 2026 at 6 o'clock p.m. The doors open at 5 p.m. at the Winsand Center at Mount Zion Baptist Church, 353 South New Road in Pleasantville, New Jersey. All right. The tickets are $55. They're $45 if you pay by August the 15th, $55 at the door, $20 for children 12 and under. You know, kids that are 12, they eat almost as much as an adult. So that is a good price for them. So you can pick up your tickets from right here from WEHA radio station. Enjoy a slamming soul food buffet. Come feed your body and your soul. All right, I am in the studio today live, and I'm always excited, but I am especially excited today to have Bruce Weeks Jr. To be here in the studio live today. He is doing some wonderful things, and he's going to be talking about some wonderful things. But just in case people don't know you, and I know they do, just in case they don't, I would like for you to say something about yourself.
Okay, and good morning to you, Thelma, and to your listening audience. Thank you for having me today. My name is Bruce E. Weeks II. I was born and raised in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I graduated from Howard University in Washington, D.C. I was a former councilman at large in the city of Atlantic City, and I currently serve as the Assistant Director of Economic Development for the city of Atlantic City.
All right. So you're doing some big things over there, and there's something huge that's coming up that we wanted our listening audience to be aware of it. I don't know how I missed it. Listen, I think I know everything that's going on in Atlantic County, but I missed out on the Black Expo. That's going to be held. I don't know if this is the second one.
This is the second. Yep, the second annual.
The second annual one. Okay, all right. So I missed the first one, and I don't know why. Maybe I was out of town. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I saw the pictures, and Deacon Hawks, he really raved about the expo, and then I seen the flyer with the headlines and people that are coming that's going to be a part of this, and it's really, really good. So I wanted to ask you a question. What inspired the city of Atlantic City to create the Black Business Expo, and how has it evolved since its inaugural event?
That's a great question. So it started because when I started doing research on how to develop the small business community in Atlantic City in my new capacity, I noticed that every May nationally is recognized as Small Business Month. And so we did a whole series of events last year for our inaugural Small Business Month and recognizing it in Atlantic City. But then doing further research, I realized that August is nationally Black Business Month, which I didn't realize how I didn't know, and how in the community and the surrounding communities, how we never celebrate that. And so last year, we had council recognized formally and the mayor recognized formally in Atlantic City August as Black Business Month. And so when we started to think about what we wanted to do as an event to inspire more entrepreneurship within Atlantic City amongst black entrepreneurs, we came up with the idea of a Black Business Expo, and that's how it was birthed. So we wanted to create an event that would bring together aspiring entrepreneurs, legendary entrepreneurs to come speak on panels about their experiences and challenges and success stories as business owners in the city of Atlantic City or surrounding communities. But we also wanted to bring together just resources to help you get your business started, to help you grow your business. And then we wanted to give local entrepreneurs a chance to sell their products.
That's good.
And so we had over 20 vendors last year who Did very well at the expo because we had over 300 people attend.
Wow.
And so we also had the radio station come do a live broadcast. So if you were a burgeoning entrepreneur, you can come get your message out. And there were people who even were watching the radio live stream and showed up because, such as yourself, they weren't aware that we were having the event, but they saw it being streamed, and they came over to the All Wars Memorial Building to kind of engage with the entrepreneurs and to purchase goods and services from the ones that were vending. So it was really a great event, the first one, and we're really looking forward to this year. And so, yes, so this year will be the second annual on August 25th from 5 to 8 at the Soldiers Homes in Atlantic City, which is 1510 Adriatic Avenue. Doors will open at 4 o'clock, and we will have a light refreshment reception from 4 to 5 p.m.
Okay, that's nice. I want to come to that this year.
Absolutely. You're invited,
Yeah,
of course.
I really
Everyone's invited.
I really want to come out. Hopefully, I don't have anything, but no, I might not be back. But that's okay. I'm getting this information out there. Now, this isn't just a vendor fair, because sometimes when you go to things, it's a bunch of vendors, and a lot of resources which are needed. What can attendees expect that makes that event different from the traditional expos?
And so aside from being able to discover new businesses and to purchase from the ones that you may know and favor, we are going to have very interactive panel discussions to give the audience more insight from both a top-down level of the state of the Black entrepreneurship community, but also we're going to dive intimately again with burgeoning entrepreneurs as well as established entrepreneurs, so people can learn more about how to get in business, what are some of the barriers that exist. But we're taking it a little further this year, and we're bringing down a CDFI, which is a community development financial institution that is looking to grow their book of business in Atlantic City amongst minority businesses. So they want to expand access to capital to startup businesses as well as established businesses that are looking to grow. And their CEO is actually coming, and they're going to have a table as well as he's going to speak and let the community know about what his organization is doing and how he can be involved in helping our community get access to capital, which is the largest barrier to Black businesses.
Absolutely. It's capital.
And so when you kind of look at, we always hear about the wealth disparity amongst Blacks versus our counterparts. The second largest source of wealth in the U.S. is business equity. It's only second to home ownership. Wow. And the equity that you have in your home. And the third is traditional investments such as stocks, bonds, retirement accounts. So to kind of bridge all that together, we're going to have a CEO of an institution that is looking to expand access to capital, but also we're bringing in a credit repair coach that's going to speak on a panel, as well as someone who actually he's born and raised in Atlantic City, but he owns a wealth management company in Houston, Texas right now, which is thriving. His name is Quadir Williams. So he's going to talk about investments that are traditional investments like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, because it's time that we start to learn about these things.
That's true.
Because it's great to have a job. We all work, but it's what we do with our income. And you're not going to create wealth just from your job alone. It's about how you carve out disposable income and what you do with it, whether it's home ownership, whether it's creating a side business that eventually becomes your full-time business, or whether or not you're investing in your retirement account or stocks and bonds, etc. It's time for us to start having those discussions and creating actionable steps to creating wealth.
I like that. And you talked about the credit repair, because a lot of times people don't realize that your credit has a lot to do with the interest rates, which are the loans and things that you get. They don't realize that. So I think this is well put together. And I know you have the names. Do you want to say who's coming?
Yeah, so we're going to have Dr. John Harmon, who is the president and CEO of the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey. Obviously, Mayor Small is going to be in attendance.
Sure.
Councilman Kaleem Shabazz, Council President Aaron Sporty Randolph, Regina Harrison, who is the president and CEO of the African American Chamber of Commerce of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware.
Yeah, she's big.
As well as who I mentioned earlier, Vandale Hampton Jr., who is the president and CEO of True Access Capital, who I actually was introduced to by Sam Kiley at Atlanticare, who runs their CDC, because she had a meeting with them, and she's like, well, that's not really our wheelhouse, but I can direct you to Bruce Weeks at the City. so he can kind of get you engaged with the minority community in terms of entrepreneurship. And again, we're going to have Quadair Williams. We're going to have Chef Simpson, who owns Simpsons.
Wow.
We're going to have Vianna Bailey, who runs a credit repair consulting company. And then, again, we're going to have a bunch of household names that are local. Just to give you some context, last year we were fortunate enough to have Miss Mack come speak on a panel, and she did a great job. And we were happy to have her because it's important that people know who has been around and who inspired others to get in business, but also they employed a lot of folks. They gave a lot of people their first opportunity. We had Kim Jackson from Kelsey and Kim. She spoke last year. Bashir Khan. So again, we try to diversify who we bring and just give people more exposure in a more casual, more intimate setting as opposed to the traditional networking event.
That's fantastic. Now, why is it important for the city to invest in Black entrepreneurship and small business development? Because I see a lot going on in the city. If you don't ride around, it's changed so much. You don't really know what's going on. So why is that important?
It's important because first, when I first spoke about the sources of wealth creation,
right.
When you think about Atlantic City, decades ago,
Right.
it was the Black small business community pre-casino that kind of defined the economic zeitgeist. So it was the Club Harlems that were the attraction for visitors to come and check out Atlantic City, put eyes on Atlantic City, to stay here in our hotels, to just come for entertainment. And so what kind of killed that, one of the biggest drivers that destroyed that, was desegregation. So the moment that we were able to go and patron other businesses, it kind of decimated our own base economically. And so we want to, again, bring that climate back to where we're putting everyone in one room, in one setting, and saying it is possible, right? We do need to invest in ourselves and in the Black dollar in our community because it's important just for our own future. And studies show that when you do shop locally, more of that money stays in our community. Even more so when you shop at a Black-owned business, more of that money stays in the Black community. So it's very important that we do our job as the government to encourage that.
And actually, to say that, because growing up on the north side, during that particular time, there were a lot of Black-owned businesses, and we were very self-sufficient.
Over 400 at one point.
Over 400. I believe y'all even had Weeks gas station.
Yeah, we had a gas station and auto repair shop on Atlantic in Connecticut.
Correct.
Which was the first Black-owned business on Atlantic Avenue.
Right, but I didn't know that part because I grew up in the Inlet.
Okay.
So I remember that. And so it was, but we were self-sufficient. We had our own cleaners, our own everything. I think also casinos helped destroy that also, because segregation was segregation back then. So to bring that back, I think that's excellent. This is something excellent.
And then to your point, we also had, during that time period, Horace Bryant created the Northside Credit Union.
Oh, wow.
And so he aggregated all of the African Americans that were teachers, firemen, policemen, all the professionals, doctors, dentists, and he, aggregated their deposits and lent it out at affordable rates so people can get mortgages, so people can send their kids to college. More of that needs to come back and needs to happen for us to be more self-sufficient.
I didn't know that. I love history, and so when you brought that piece in, that was really great. Because even before the ACIT in Atlantic County Vocational School, we had one right here in Atlantic City. So this is excellent. This is excellent. So who should attend the expo? And is it only for business owners, or there's something for everybody?
Yeah, I would encourage anyone that has an interest in potentially starting a business, or if you're a business owner currently, you want to grow your business, or you just have an interest in the economy in Atlantic City or the community in Atlantic City, I would attend. Your investment is free because it's free to attend, and your return on investment is potentially a new opportunity or a new business partner or a new resource that you'll discover. So it's going to be worth your time, whether you're in business or not in business.
Wow. Now, I see this. I've been seeing stuff about the orange containers. Is that Black owned? Or?
It's not Black owned, but they are doing a great job of leasing out to Black owned businesses.
Oh, okay.
You have to give them kudos. I've been seeing a lot of controversy being thrown their way about the design and just kind of the structure of it. But one thing I do like about it is it's giving us not just black-owned businesses but minority-owned businesses a chance to actually occupy commercial space. And that's another thing we're incorporating this year. So Rod Green from Common Ground in Pleasantville, he's going to come speak as well about his incubator that he has at the old press building, which is a dynamic space that allows someone to come and grow their business at affordable rates. And then also Dr. Regis, who's building out executive suites in Atlantic City on Atlantic Avenue down near Stockton. He's going to speak about that space.
I didn't know that.
Right, and what he wants to help black entrepreneurs accomplish. And he is probably the largest black-owned developer in Atlantic City right now.
Wow, I did not know that. I always kept him in the medical field.
Yeah.
You know, lose weight, you know, GYN and all of that. I didn't know that he was into the development.
Yep.
Wow, that's huge. That is really, really huge. So, but they are doing that space for anyone. I guess it's reasonable, I guess, for people to
right
to get it, because it's hard to have your own.
It's hard. You know, again, when you don't have access to capital or inheritance money, it's really hard to build out a commercial space or to get access to it. So we have to start pushing those resources out and marketing them more to our community, for sure.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That wasn't a part of what I was supposed to be asking, but people have been asking me about that, and I've seen a young lady out front, so I wasn't really sure. I've been watching Facebook.
Okay.
And then my co-host Mary Parrish was watching Facebook. She said, "Thelma, what is that about?" I said, "I don't know," but I said, "Bruce Week is over economic." I thought you was over it. I said, "He's over it," so I'm going to make sure I ask him when he comes. All right. So anybody can attend this. Hold on. Yeah, anyone can attend this, so that's good that's really good to know. Really, really good to know. All right, let me see now. What else I want to ask you about this expo that's coming up? This technology. All right. One of this year's themes is expanding access to capital and opportunity, and I think we kind of been touching on this, but I want you to expand on this. Why are those conversations so critical for entrepreneurs today?
Yeah, it's critical because when you go to a lot of programs, you hear a lot of talk and a lot of jargon about what needs to happen, and there are very few instances where there are actionable steps about how we get there. And so everyone's always, you know, not complaining, but it's a huge barrier in our community about access to capital. And so we want to do our part in actually addressing that and bringing those resources directly to the people. Because studies show and research shows that only about 15 or 16% of black entrepreneurs say that they have the capital that they need to succeed. We are twice as likely to not gain access to capital as our counterparts, and when we do, we get so much unfavorable rates as opposed to our counterparts. And so that's why it's important that we do our research as the government on what institutions are more friendly to our community and who they want to conduct business and help us grow. We want to bring them here. We want to bring them from the outside to Atlantic City. And so access to capital has to be a part of that discussion at the expo, because, you know, we can talk about success stories, we can talk about other barriers, but if we're not actually doing things to address the largest barrier, then to me, it's all for nothing, because, you know, that's the largest issue right now. We have to try to tackle that. And so people such as John Harmon, who's a huge advocate of that throughout the state, he's a vast nexus of just resources and information, as well as Regina Harrison. You know, they're all over. And so, you know, their reach and their capabilities, we have to start taking advantage of that. We have to put our pride to the side. We need help. And there are people out there that can help us. And we just have to be honest with ourselves and show up.
And that's the point. I think a lot of times you can have a creative idea, but you got to have all of the tools. You got to have a business plan. There's things that you have to have in place in order to get capital. You know, you can't just get it because you got a great idea.
Exactly.
You know, so I think having this expo really brings light to that. brings a lot of awareness, I should say, to that, so people will know this is what you need if you want to start up your business. It's small. You need a business plan. You need to have good credit, you know, because you're not going to get no money if you don't have no good credit. That's the bottom line, you know. And then to have capital, you got to have something, you know. So I'm really, really excited about this event that's coming to Atlantic City, and this is a conversation that maybe should have been held a long time ago, but it's better late than never.
Exactly.
Yeah, better late than never. So, what opportunities will entrepreneurs walk away with after attending this expo?
So just further information on how to grow their business, connecting with other like-minded individuals that are also trying to either get in the space that you're in, but then...
Let's hold it. We'll be right back. Okay. Keep it locked.
And would you seat them in a car seat that's not the correct one? Secure their future. Seat them in the correct car seat. More info at safercar.gov/the right seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Join Gospel 88.7 and 100.3 FM WEHA as we celebrate a life of leadership, ministry, and service. You're invited to El Presidente's 65th birthday celebration service, honoring this special milestone on Saturday, August 29th, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. The celebration takes place at Faith Baptist Church, located at 829 Tilton Road in Pleasantville, New Jersey. This unforgettable afternoon will feature anointed ministry through music from the Inspirational Choral Ensemble, Bishop Charles Lyles, and the New John Howard Gospel Caravans, and the Abundant Life Worship Center New Vision Praise Team. Plus, enjoy a special appearance by a surprise gospel recording artist. The event will be hosted by John Howard Jr., promising an atmosphere of praise, worship, and celebration you won't want to miss. Come celebrate 65 years of faith, dedication, and kingdom impact at El Presidente's birthday celebration service. For more information, you can call 609-641-8870. That's 609-641-8870. Don't miss El Presidente's 65th birthday celebration service, Saturday, August 29th at Faith Baptist Church in Pleasantville. Come expecting a powerful time of worship, fellowship, and celebration.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? Amid the chaos? Or is the best time perhaps today? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Join Gospel 88.7 and 100.3 FM WEHA as we celebrate a life of leadership, ministry, and service. You're invited to El Presidente's 65th birthday celebration service, honoring this special milestone on Saturday, August 29th, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. The celebration takes place at Faith Baptist Church, located at 829 Tilton Road in Pleasantville, New Jersey. This unforgettable afternoon will feature anointed ministry through music from the Inspirational Choral Ensemble, Bishop Charles Lyles, and the New John Howard Gospel Caravans, and the Abundant Life Worship Center New Vision Praise Team. Plus, enjoy a special appearance by a surprise gospel recording artist. The event will be hosted by John Howard Jr., promising an atmosphere of praise, worship, and celebration you won't want to miss. Come celebrate 65 years of faith, dedication, and kingdom impact at El Presidente's birthday celebration service. For more information, you can call 609-641-8870. That's 609-641-8870. Don't miss El Presidente's 65th birthday celebration service, Saturday, August 29th at Faith Baptist Church in Pleasantville. Come expecting a powerful time of worship, fellowship, and celebration. History isn't just something you read about. It's something you can experience. Join the National Action Network of South Jersey on Friday, August 28th, 2026, as we travel to Washington, D.C. to commemorate the 63rd anniversary of the March on Washington. Whether you're passionate about civil rights, eager to learn more about our nation's history, or simply looking for a meaningful trip with family and friends, this is your opportunity to be part of something powerful and purposeful. Our comfortable motor coach departs from the Soldier's Home, located at 1510 Adriatic Avenue in Atlantic City at 4:30 a.m. And don't worry, refreshments will be served along the way. Come learn, be inspired, support your community, honor the past, inspire the present, and help build the future. For more information, you can text, call, or leave a message at 640-247-9289. That's 640-247-9289. The National Action Network of South Jersey's trip to Washington, D.C., Friday, August 28th. Don't just remember history, be a part of it. Please join the Atlantic City branch of the NAACP every Tuesday from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. for your NAACP Speaks, hosted by Branch President Kaleem Shabazz, right here on Gospel 88.7 and 100.3 FM WEHA.
If you just tune in, you're listening to In the Community with Dr. Thelma Witherspoon and First Lady Parrish, right here at your two-time Stellar Award-winning gospel radio station, WEHA Gospel 88.7, 100.3 FM. We have gospel. This broadcast has been brought to you by the Hawks Family Businesses, who have been serving our community for over 40 years, and Beacon Hall, turning moments into memories. All right. So certainly, if you're looking for a venue, Beacon Hall is the place you want to be. They have parking, beautiful decor, spacious, a beautiful facility, a large kitchen. You can call 609-641-8870, extension 2, Monday through Friday from 9 to 4:30. All right. As we do every week, we give a little shout out for those who are listening to us. It says, good morning, Pat Tweedle. Once more, excellent. She loves the show. Babs Dawn, this is a great show. Deborah Dozier, good morning, Dr. Witherspoon and Lady Parrish, and your guest, Mr. Weeks. Blessings upon you with your Black Expo. He's making it happen. Blessings to WEHA. She's a huge listener supporter. Thank you so much. Jimmy Whitehead, he tuned in today. He says, good morning, Thelma and Bruce Eats Weeks. Thank you both for your public service. He said, I started Excel Cosmetics, Bath and Body, after attending Bruce E. Weeks' AC Small Business Academy, opening Excel's Beauty Boutique in AC Container Park, October 1st. Okay. All right, Pat McDaniel Tweedle, Bessie Grayson are listening, is watching. All right, thank y'all so much for watching our show on today. And for those who just didn't make no comment and you're listening, we're happy that you're listening to Mr. Weeks as we're talking about the second Black Expo that is coming to Atlantic City on August the 25th at the Soldier's Home in Atlantic City from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. All right, so we're going to continue talking, and we were talking as the commercial breaks were on, and we were talking about things that people need or they have unexpected what would I say? Expectations. Unexpected expectations. And so you have a great idea, but no business plan, no nothing. No money, nothing. And then you want everybody to come and support you every day. I'm going to tell you something. People are just not going to come to your establishments every day. But if you got a good product, you know that they're going to come back. Right? And we want to talk about that for a second.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that.
Absolutely. And so we've been trying to do our job in terms of programming to help individuals for free, thanks to Mayor Small, to provide things such as what Jimmy Whitehead just mentioned, the Small Business Academy, which is in partnership with the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey. And it's an 8-week program, all in once a week at an evening. This is a cohort of folks that are looking to start or grow their business, and we teach them from A to Z how to get there. And in the end, the goal is for them to walk away with a sound business plan, but also just exposure to the various business disciplines, because a lot of people And a lot of people are solo entrepreneurs.
Right.
And so they may be great at baking, or they may be great at making pudding, as you just spoke about the lady that has a banana pudding, but they may not know how to run the back end of the business, the operations, the accounting, the marketing. And so we try to teach them all of that. And maybe they walk away knowing that they have to build a team. But also we have a pitch competition, which gets them ready to kind of, the ideology behind the pitch competition is not only to make them compete, but also to get them bankable. So when you go into a lending institution and you're able to pitch your business in a way that makes sense and is systematic and methodical, it just increases your chances of obtaining capital. So we want them to be pitch ready, because they're going to ask your pitch. They may not say, give me your pitch, but tell us your story. You know, what about your business? Why should we invest in you? And so if you're not prepared for that moment, you may only get that one chance. And so we want them to walk away having that confidence in themselves, knowing that they've may have stumbled in the competition, but they realized what they needed to fine tune. And so we also do kind of one-off programming, maybe like once a month, with our consultant, Joe Molyneux, who's been around for decades in helping small businesses. So we try to pick an area of business that we kind of facilitate a subject matter seminar on, so that people can come out for free again. We try to have it at a local business so they can kind of get to know who the businesses are in our community. Hopefully the people that come there will shop and eat there, but also learn from the programming. But I'll be remiss also if I didn't mention that another aspect of this expo, we talked about history, is the legendary Ralph Hunter. He has a pop-up museum exhibit that we had the first year. It was focused on the north side, and it was focused on just the history of businesses, black businesses in Atlantic City. He's going to change it up this year, but he's coming back, which we're very excited about, because we need to hear from our elders that have been around, that know the story. And so we're very excited to have Ralph Hunter again. He's going to be in the lobby of Soldiers Home. But back to your point, not to get off topic.
That's all right. It's
about having reasonable expectations. Right. So when you go through an 8-week program, you have a chance to see, okay, maybe I wanted to do 30 things as a part of what I want to offer, but now I'm going to focus on these 5, because these are the 5 that make sense from what the market wants. And so you have to do your research, and again, like you said, have a reasonable expectation. You may have to start small.
Right.
And everyone's not going to support you. That doesn't mean you get discouraged. You just find a new audience.
Right.
And don't get mad at everyone in your backyard. You know, just market to another yard, right? I mean, like, you have to pivot. Pivoting is very important in business. But also just having a mindset that not everyone's going to support you, and it's not always, you know, them not wanting to support you, just may not be what they're interested in or what they need.
That's right. That's a true point.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very, very true. So now this training, is that only for Atlantic City residents?
No. So the goal is for us so the intention is that it's a business attraction tool. So you can be a Pleasantville resident, Egg Harbor Township resident, but you want to open up a business in Atlantic City.
Okay.
So the goal, obviously, is to help Atlantic City residents. We do prefer that. But we realize there's only so many Atlantic City residents every year that are going to be willing to join. So we opened it up a few years ago to surrounding communities, because we want people to want to occupy our vacant storefronts. You may be an EHT but want to open up a business in Atlantic City. And so we've seen a lot of those cases where some of our most successful small businesses are actually people that are from Pleasantville, EHT, or the surrounding communities, but they love Atlantic City and they know the opportunities there, and they're operating businesses right now in our community that are thriving.
Wow. And they could have been a part of that orange loop.
Mm-hmm.
Those containers.
And they still can. They still have, to my knowledge, there's still openings.
Yeah,
and
so now I'm going to be talking about Hamilton Township.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're from Hamilton Township, now of course we want you to open up your businesses there so we can get the ratables.
Mm-hmm.
But however, if you want to start a small business and you want to open up something in Atlantic City, there's opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so going to these classes, I think, is key, because it teaches you what you need to do, what you shouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Reasonable expectations, what you may need to scale back, you know, making sure you have capital, making sure you got good credit, all of that. You know, and I don't know how many years the bank looks at, but they look at you to make sure that you're not going to fold. You know, so that's excellent information. So, and when are those classes?
So we just wrapped up this year's cohort this past May.
Okay.
But the next one will start next spring. We try to run it every spring.
Every spring for 8 weeks.
For 8 weeks.
Okay. Now, how does supporting local businesses benefit the entire community? How does that benefit the community?
It benefits the community because more of our dollar stays in our community when you support a local small business. I believe it's 70% of every dollar stays as opposed to 40% when you shop at a business that's kind of like a national brand. And so, local business owners are also less likely to close their doors and leave. They're more rooted, they're more invested, and they also give back more.
That's true.
Research shows they're more willing to give to the youth organizations. They're more willing to give to social causes. And so their feet are really planted in the community. And, they raise their families here. Their kids go to school in our community. So it's an all comprehensive investment when you choose to support a small business. You truly are investing in your community, and your voice is always going to be heard. Right, like you have access to those business owners. You might have grown up knowing them or their parents. Most of the time, they're at the business itself, and so that rapport is established. So if you do have an issue, and that's another thing we need to talk about, we need to move away from running the social media with our gripes about businesses.
That's true.
Without first trying to resolve that with either management or the business owner directly.
I agree.
And so one of the things that we are doing this year at the expo, which I didn't mention, is we're kind of launching a pilot. It's a Black-owned dining passport. But as a part of that passport, which kind of outlines all the different establishments you can go to and all their information, there's rewards for the amount if you visit a certain amount. There's a pledge on the first page of that passport that kind of says you're signing off on agreeing to that you're not going to go to social media or to Google reviews to trash that business if something doesn't go your way. You're going to first try to resolve it directly with the business. And that's not to say that you have to accept poor service or a poor product.
Right.
But if it's reasonable and it can be worked out, let's try to make that happen. We need to shift that culture because it's already hard enough. The numbers show for black businesses as is.
Right.
So we need to get out of the business of trashing and bringing down our own, because then that number just dramatically becomes less and less and less just because you're looking for likes and comments and content. Because we don't go to Steak 48 and do that. We don't go to Ruth Chris and do that.
No.
Right? We either don't say anything or we just talk to them directly. We need to start doing that to our own establishments, because if they're open to constructive feedback, give it to them. It's only going to help them. And they may give you something in return, maybe a free meal, or they may comp your meal. But let's get out of the culture of going on Facebook and Twitter or whatever the platform is of your choice and trashing black businesses. We want to kind of shift that culture, and we think that this piloted black dining passport is a way to kind of put that narrative out there in a real exercisable way. And I say it's a pilot because eventually we want to partner with a larger organization to create an all-comprehensive passport to all businesses in Atlantic City that offer goods and services, not just for the residents, but for the tourists.
Right. Because most of the business that I have went to past the growing up on the north side business side were basically like our barbershops, our beauty shops. We got a lot of those, and restaurants. So I really don't know too many other businesses, that are in Atlantic City and that are black owned. I'm sure that they are, but
now you're absolutely right, and the stats say exactly what you said. We are predominantly in beauty and barber businesses, funeral businesses, and restaurants. Those are like our three largest buckets of industries that we are in. And it's interesting because I'm actually, when I leave here today, we had a grant program, a micro grant program that we administered last year. And I want to say 3/4 of the grants went to black-owned businesses or minority-owned businesses. But one of them is opening today, and it's a black-owned laundromat on the west side of Atlantic City.
Really?
And so to see someone getting into what's known as an essential business, which is kind of away from kind of what we traditionally go towards, in a neighborhood, I think is
on the west side.
On the west side.
I know exactly what it is.
On Ohio Avenue.
Right.
It's such a huge win. It may be a small thing to some people. Oh, a black-owned laundromat is opening, but it's a huge win for our community. It's a huge win for Atlantic City, and it's going to help revitalize that corridor of the neighborhood.
That's fantastic. So they're having their opening today. Wow! Congratulations to whoever it is. Congratulations, because that's a big deal.
It is.
That's a big deal because I don't know too many other. I don't know about the dispensaries.
There are a few black-owned dispensaries in Atlantic City.
Right. So we got that now. But before it was just barber shops, beauty shops, eateries, restaurants, funeral homes, and some of them are doing very well.
They are. They're doing very, very well.
Yeah, and I heard someone had said to me, they had a class or went somewhere and said, they don't have any black millionaires in Atlantic City. I said, yes, they do.
They do.
Yes, they do. I said, they just, there's a difference between old money and new money. There's a difference between old money and new money, and hopefully that's something that the expo, if not this time, can cover also, because a lot of times people get in business and they got the fur coats. I love all the flashy stuff too. Don't get me wrong. And they get to the Bentleys before they can afford the Bentley. You know what I mean? So there's a discipline that you must have also. So I'm just excited about this.
And I think you mentioned it earlier. I think it's an interesting paradox that there are less black millionaires in Atlantic City than there were maybe 50, 60 years ago. And casinos have been here. All these opportunities have been here, but now that translated to less of us being wealthy or less of us having a certain income level. I think that's interesting, but I also think that's by design. I don't want to get too much into it, but
I understand.
We have to do our part and be intentional about flipping that, or making that an inverse relationship.
Absolutely. Are there opportunities for networking with business leaders, and organizations?
Oh, absolutely. As I stated, you're going to be able to vend. You're going to be able to go to the pop-up museum exhibit. You're going to be able to engage in the panel discussions, but also speak to the panelists after their panels end. And again, you're going to be able to, there won't just be people vending products and services. There are going to be resources being vended as well. We have a new black-owned doula in Atlantic City company. Doulas they help mothers when they're in the hospital with birth. So they help they help with the equity of the services that they receive or the treatment that they receive. They're there with the mothers, making sure that process goes smoothly as possible, because as we know, our
percentage is very,
our percentage of birth rates, I forgot what the term is again.
Right.
But
the paternal rates for black women is very high.
The maternal, so it's very high, and so they play a very influential role in making sure that our mothers are being serviced correctly and properly. So things such as that we may not be as educated on are going to be resources at the expo as well.
That's good. Now, what do you want to leave with people who may be wanting to attend, and probably after listening to this show today, you may be interested in opening your own business and take advantage of the opportunities, because sometimes I feel people don't take advantage because they don't know. Sometimes it's fear. But for you to come to the show today, and we want to thank El Presidente, because he was just like adamant. Did you get Bruce Weeks? Did you get Bruce Weeks? And I'm like, I'm going to get Bruce Weeks. I'm calling Bruce Weeks. And I'm glad that you did come. What do you want our listeners to take away from this show today?
I think you just said it. Don't be fearful of maybe not being at a certain level, and you feel like you have to be at a certain level to be at in this type of room. We're going to have people at all sort of phases of life, all sort of phases of the business cycle, whether you're just exploring and you want to figure out what you want to do, or whether you're established. I would encourage you to show up. It's a family-oriented environment. No one's going to look at you any sort of way for not knowing something. It's about learning. It's about learning what's out there. And so come with an open mind and just participate. That's all we can ask for, and be engaged. If you don't know something, ask the question. So that you do know, or that you're more educated on that particular topic. I would just say again, this station is going to be there. If you have a new business, you're going to be able to go upstairs and promote it live on the radio, which is streamed on social media. I would encourage you to show up, if not for anything, just for that. And we want to thank the Hawks family for being a vendor again and being a part of the expo, because getting the word out, and like you said, not everyone's going to support you. You may reach people that are willing to support you just because you showed up. That's and so it's all about showing up, no matter where you are in life. If you have an interest in business, even if you're not African American, show up.
Show up. Because I was going to say that, because it says Black Expo. So does that mean that no one else can come?
No, last year we had people from all ethnicities show up.
Right, because they can benefit from the information.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times they take this information, take advantage of it, and go in and become successful, where we're sometimes reluctant or apprehensive and not doing anything at all. So this is a great opportunity, and I think if you're interested in opening up a business or even just wanting to see what's going on, show up. The first thing you got to do is show up.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to show up, and it starts at 5. Now, is the reception going to be at 5 or is it going to be before 5?
The reception is I believe from 4 to 5:30.
All right, 4 to 5:30. So they're gonna have light refreshments, and then do you have the whole building, or is it just?
So we have the whole first floor, and then the atrium upstairs, which kind of has an outdoor space as well. So there's just those two levels.
All right,
and then the radio station will be upstairs as well on the second floor.
Well, you are doing an absolute a phenomenal job. I think Pam is your assistant.
Yeah, well, Pam is my colleague, Pam Fish. She couldn't be here today.
Right.
But there's a whole team. There's a whole planning and development team that I work with. A whole CDBG team, which is the Community Development Block Grant. So Lance Smith, Kaya Harris, Priscilla Stone. We all work together. CDBG allowed us. They funded the food for this event.
Oh wow!
And so it really was a huge collaborative effort. There's no one person that makes this happen. The mayor's office, special events, the people that work at soldiers' homes, public works. I mean, it really takes a lot to put on an event, as you know.
I do know.
I was just at your family's event, and y'all had hundreds of people there, which I'm sure people such as myself just show up. But I'm sure there's so much that went into that planning of that event. I couldn't imagine throwing an event as large as that without having like my organization behind me.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well, we would love to have your organization behind us next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if we had to find out what we need to do, again, we want to thank you for coming and being on the show and just giving us this information, because it is valuable information. And certainly I want you to show up at this Black Expo on August the 25th from 5 to 8 at the Soldiers Home. And the address is 1510?
Yes, 1510 Adriatic Avenue. If anyone has any questions, they can reach out to myself. My work telephone number is 609-347-5544. My email is bweekes@acnj.gov.
All right. Well, I'm sure that this is going to be an exceptional event, a phenomenal event. I've been to Gina's. Harrison's up in Pennsylvania and seen what she was doing to have something like this here and to have her here along with Mr. Harmon.
Yep.
But I think it's just fantastic. I do follow them.
Okay, good.
So to make to see that they're part of this, it makes it really, really nice. And Mr. Hunter,
yes,
he's moving.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
He's moving the museum, right?
He's moving the museum. Do you know where that is?
Not sure yet.
But that's coming up.
Yep.
So the museum is being moved.
Yep.
I want everybody to know that too. Well, keep it locked to WEHA. Again, we want to thank Mr. Bruce Weeks for being with us today to talk about the Black Expo. And if you're not doing anything, show up on August the 25th from 5 to 8 o'clock p.m. at the Soldiers Home